If being on the internet has taught me anything, it's that if you don't want people to wish you dead, you never talk about politics or religion. Those subjects can often bring out the worst in people no matter which side of the spectrum they're on. But who cares? Now that Easter is done, Christmas is practically right around the corner, so let's get blasphemous. The Stars of Christmas Family Edition is something I found while rooting through the dumpster at a dollar store. That's to say, the DVD section. I fully expected this movie to be bad, and it certainly doesn't disappoint. Within the first few seconds, you know you're in for a treat. This movie is a nightmare of clip art, green screens, stock sound effects, and terribly out-of-touch dialogue. Probably written by someone who is in a coma for a decade, and asks his grandkids accusingly if they listened to that awful Marilyn Manson before he became that awful Marilyn Manson. The premise is that we're watching an awards show for determining who the true star of Christmas really is. Spoilers, it's Jesus. It even says so on the front cover, so whatever tension you may have had when watching this film is now lost. I expected better from Bridgestone Multimedia Group, who are famously known for a movie called The Accidental Activist, about a guy who signs a petition to... Our host is an arrogant, narcissistic, greedy non-believer named Colton Storm, who I'm assuming is supposed to represent everything wrong with today's society, or not choosing a faith in general.
What in the world is she praying for?
He introduces our nominees, who include Mary, the shepherds, three wise men, and King Herod. I've never really kept up on my Bible study, so I don't know who the last one is. We get a brief slideshow presentation on a Bible story, complete with awkward, stupid narration, and then our nominees sit in front of a green screen and lip-sync Christmas carols done with a modern spin. These styles include bland country, sort of rock, boy band trash, and hip-hop as imagined by old people. While low-budget films are nothing new to me, The Stars of Christmas really takes it a step further. Every environment, every person in the crowd, and most of the props look like they were taken right from a 1990s clip art CD. A notable exception, though, is the best prop of all, Jesus himself, who looks like the plastic baby they used in You can easily see copies of people in the crowd, and you can see movement below one of the layers in the opening scene. They also very blatantly copied the Entertainment Tonight logo on the microphone. Given that I'm probably one of the only 15 people who's ever seen this movie, I doubt CBS ever knew, nor would they have cared. They clearly wouldn't have been able to sue these guys for much anyway. Like most edutainment, if you consider this educational at all, this movie attempts to try and connect with younger audiences by modernizing its source material. This is done by adding outdated lingo, fart jokes, modern props and outfits, lame visual gags, and dialogue like this.
That song totally rocks! I wish I could download it from heaven and play it on my MP3 player.
All these musicians are certainly talented though. Mary is able to play several strums on her guitar with one nonchalant hand movement, and seems to be able to change chords before her fingers change to the right notes. The shepherds, who look like a group of bus people, save for the drummer, have a rhythm section incredibly similar to Sweet Home Alabama, and they do their best to drown it out with the singing, praying that no one will notice? I better cut that. While all of the songs are very obviously lip-synced and choreographed, the Three Wise Men's act really goes a level beyond. We go from the lead singer, who really looks like he doesn't want to be there, sounding like this.
Guys, we're finally here. Please remember, we're representing the great countries of the East tonight.
To this. Maybe it was their idea of social commentary on how fake boy bands are, but this video was released in 2010. I think they were about 12 years late on that. King Herod's attempt at hip-hop and having gangsta mannerisms is already laughable as it is, but his performance is the worst of the bunch, hands down. It's not so much the way he does it, which is most assuredly bad, don't get me wrong, but the song is interrupted by the executive producer's kids' boy band, has the crowd incessantly booing over top of the music, has even more stock sound bites, and King Herod is yelling the entire time. It's a noisy, disorienting, and unpleasant mess. It almost made me shut the movie right off then and there. Nothing could save me. The Bible story segments are cheap-looking slideshow presentations as it is, but they even had the gall to repeat the Three Wise Men and Herod segment almost verbatim, as though people wouldn't notice. I suppose they had the last laugh though, didn't they? Because I bought this movie. That's half a coffee I could have had. Bible quote denoting regret and or sadness inserted here. And then there's this brazen remark.
The hottest new band to hit the pop chart since Joseph and the Technicolor Dreamcoats.
I'm not mad. I'm not even disappointed that this cynical bargain bin fodder just laughingly compared itself to one of my most fondly remembered musicals. I'm just amazed at how much pure, concentrated delusion was instilled into a single disc. Now if only I could figure out how to extract it. Finally, we come to the end of the awards ceremony. So who won? Remember the front of the box that spoiled the entire movie?
Beautiful songs and made their lives extraordinary. This year's Golden Star Award for the biggest star of Christmas goes to Jesus Christ.
Fuck you. So what was the point of all that? There was none. You're now out $1 and 40 minutes of your life that you'll never get back are gone. It's poetic, really. That's the moral of this story. There's just no point in doing anything, is there? Jesus didn't even show up to accept his award. Maybe they couldn't figure out a way to have the plastic baby float up to the stage and wink at the camera or something. Or they felt it would be sacrilegious to show Jesus played by a real actor. Oh, but nothing wrong with having farting camels or an animated gif of repeating angels above a group of shepherds wearing potato sacks, playing modern musical instruments on a green screen backdrop of a clip art mountain. All of this in a movie that's supposed to teach kids about how great your faith is. Good job. Even to a non-believing heathen like myself, Christmas can bring out some great feelings with family and friends. And some Christmas movies I actually like quite a lot. The Stars of Christmas certainly was at least entertaining, but for all the wrong reasons. It's a complete failure, and for that, it may become an annual tradition to actually watch by the time Christmas rolls along this year. Oh, right. If you can find this movie for $1 or less, and you want to laugh at something really cheap, shoddy, out of touch, pathetic, groan-inducing, lame, pandering, insulting, fake, lazy, and outright delusional, it's worth seeing. If you're actually a parent and want to show this to your children for its intended purposes, though, I think you may need to reevaluate your life.